just as a quick note before we start, if you like the video, like the video. If you enjoy, subscribe. If you want to see anything, new I try out, then comment below or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, I guess so. Well, I guess we'll start. Well, welcome back to another KSB video. It's been quite a while since the last one, being over maybe a month or two and a half month and a half ago. I don't know, something like that. So today I decided, let's finally put a base on Duna, because last time it didn't end so well. So this time I decided, let's actually make a base. Let's actually put it on Duna, and let's hopefully have it survive. So I start off with this kind of try looking Beyblade looking ass building. Added, tried to, as you saw earlier, tried to make it a circle. I can't do that well. So I just kind of gave up on that. You know, added research modules, crew modules, fuel, parachutes, because Duna still has an atmosphere, so I can use them. So that was good. Basically decorated it a little bit. For the first time in forever, I actually, tested my rocket to see, if it's stable and if it looks good. So from there I added wheels because, it's much easier just to kind of have it I just kind of wanted to ship it as one big rocket. Um, and it would make it, much cheaper, easier kind of to fly, and it would be, it wouldn't take as long to do the mission. So from that, did another test run with making sure it's all suspended, it can reattach, um see if the driving's good and stuff like that. The test was, for the most part, a success. So I kind of readjusted the wheels a little bit to make it more or less stable and stuff like that. Saw that I ended up losing the science parts somehow, so added that back. Finally, at this point, attached the base to the rest of the rockets. Made sure it's stable, if everything's good. So if I deploy it, I can actually put it together. It was for the most part a success. Added SAS to all the sides just to make it easier to assemble. Okay, so after that test, what did I do? I shredded it all up to make it more stable. Added SAS to the main rocket itself, because if I didn't, I would be screwed. Added a heat shield because I still have to get through Duna's atmosphere. Slapped on a big rocket and was like, all right, let's try this. Medium, middle stage, somewhat realistic bottom stage. Added SAS to the lower half as well. Decided, hey, we gotta fill this rocket somehow. Added my scientist, added a few crew, an engineer, a pilot, because why not? Cut down on the fairing module to save on weight and money. First launch didn't go well, so I decided to just use it as a test run to see if my rocket could survive. It did. So went back, added more boosters. Another fun thing, but the fun thing with adding big boosters in KSB is that half the time they don't like attaching to one another, just staying attached. So you have to like add either separators or struts to them to actually have them just stay in place without falling apart. So after that, um, did my first, flight test in a sense, managed to get into orbit, but realized I definitely need like another kind of boost to it because what I had in Delta V, I definitely didn't. What I had currently on the rocket would not get me to Duna. So I decided, you know what? Let's just screw it. Let's just go with the nuclear rockets. I kind of avoided it because I didn't want to, spend the money. But I was like, you know what? Oh well, couldn't be bothered. So built the rocket. Ended up, for the most part, more a few more failed launches due to the rockets blowing up each other. So here was, yeah, and then another problem was the Fairling would because I was going faster than it would basically shoot away. It just kind of crashed into the rocket itself. So a few more failed runs, more or less another booster break off. So I tried like having the rocket, kind of the detachable rockets burn faster than the main rockets, which would burn like at 70. So to give me a little that boost kind of a little longer. So here was my first successful kind of successful run. I realized, oh, I because I was running this off of a probe core instead of actual pilots. So I realized, oh, I forgot to deploy the solar panels, so I kind of just messed up in that sense. So that was fun. Here was a successful run, kind of orbiting. So then, kind of lined up with my Duna transfer. Got a pretty good transfer. Not too much Delta V, but nothing too crazy. Did the burn. Didn't take too long because of the six nuclear engines, so that was nice. Realized I didn't add a decoupler the to the from I didn't add a decoupler from the like second stage to the heat shield. I decided, what, oh well, I can just get rid of that. Hey, note here, I could not. That comes later to haunt me. So that was definitely a mistake I should have fixed before continuing on with mission. Yeah, so just doing science, just doing some science collection for the trip, so I can just do the science when I land. Yeah, so here is when I realized that it kind of came back to haunt me because I thought I could deploy the heat shield, but I can't. So that it did eventually come back to haunt me. I thought maybe I could just deconstruct the rocket. I could not because the engine, you can't detach engines. Um, so I was not happy with that. Um, so that wasn't good for sure. So I was kind of thinking maybe I could just land without the heat shield. I could not. Well, I could, but you know, I would have basically nothing left. So I tried just detaching the shield and reattaching it on. That didn't work. So I, thought of just breaking the rocket, where I would basically just use one of my Kerbals just to ram it, just to ram like a space part into the engine to break it. That kind of worked, but didn't enough. But it was quite slow. So I decided to just decouple one of the nuclear engines and just use that as like a makeshift rocket to just break it. It ended up working for the most part, but I still couldn't get rid of the um the parts, so I decided, you know what, let's just full send this and just try to break as low as I can while only, yeah, just try breaking as low as I can, only just being able to free the heat shield. And, I didn't even need to do that, because you'll see later don't end up using it. I basically don't end up using the heat shield anyways, which is funny. But yeah, there's, yeah, there's a, I mostly, for the most part, I end up being successful, but end up with quite a unstable rocket. So once, yeah, so that wasn't fun. So I had two nuclear engines to land with, but as you'll see, by the speed I'm entering Duna, is slow enough to where I really didn't even need the heat shield. I could have just stopped with the nuclear engines themselves and like the parachutes. But I was like, you know what? Let's just use the heat shield. I brought it. I'm gonna use it. So there's a few more runs of me trying to break apart the rockets while having as much nuclear engines left. Um, a few misses here and there. So it is quite hard to land a unstable rocket with basically no targeting assist. So that was fun. Yeah, few hits, few misses. Um, Ended up blowing up the whole rocket a few times. This time I decided, whatever. We're just gonna land this thing. 3 rockets. Best thing I could get. So, I just end up going into Duna at, a really low speed anyways. Didn't even really need the heat shield anyways, but, decided to use it because why not? So here's my first semi-successful landing. Deployed the heat shield, but ended up breaking the bottom, so I had to kind of keep the heat shield with me. So this time, I think I tried just landing without using the heat shield. Was successful, so I didn't really actually need the heat shield. Only used it kind of as a breaker to keep my science labs good, but ended up failing, and I ended up just tipping the rocket over, which is not good. So here's me again coming in nice and slow. I actually came in maybe a little too slow because it was definitely was taking a little while. This time I decided not to use the engines and just tried heat shielding it, just using the heat shield to see if that was also just would that also be just effective. It was, it did the same effect. Wasn't really a difference in just using nuclear engines or having a heat shield, so yeah, I was like, oh well. So yeah, and here's the kind of final touchdown. So yeah, from that, I with my best of abilities, tried standing the rocket up, um, just to actually be able to deploy the base. Um, for the most part, was unsuccessful in doing so. Um, spun the rocket around. Try to basically bounce it off. See if I could get it on its base. Even if I couldn't, it didn't matter. The concept of the base is there. So I was like, at this point, I was like, oh well, we're just gonna leave it as is. I'll deal with it later. I got one of my cribbles, place my place the flag. I was like, all right, all done and dusted. We're good. We're good. Tried tried getting him back on the ship, but ended up failing. So I was like, we're just gonna leave him here until I get the ship back up and proper. Took the thumbnail. As you can see, the ship's just slowly sliding away, which is hilarious. I didn't even catch that until like the post recording because it's going. This is times 16 speed, so it was basically not moving for me, but that was funny. Yeah, and that was basically the mission. So thank you all so much for watching. Again, if you liked the video, leave a like. Um, Even if you like the series, leave a like. Comment if you want to see me do any other series. And thank you all so much for watching. Bye.